Oh, hello, people here already. Blimey. Hello, Fly Drive Ride. Good evening. And hello, Jason. I know I'm late. I completely forgot what was going on and lost track of time and didn't make a cup of tea and didn't put a t-shirt on and I couldn't find the tripod because I left it in the car. Wow. Hello, James. Right, I'll start off with the big, exciting news for Furious Driving. We now have a channel sponsor. So this is very exciting news. Diamond Bright, who I've been doing odd jobs for outside of YouTube for a while and using their products for a long time, actually been really impressed with stuff of theirs. If you've seen the Volvo recreating it from a shed for £175 into a very, very nice car, then you'll know I've used a lot of their actually professional products, even though I'm not a professional, and I've been really impressed. I'm really, really, really excited to say fantastic news. We've now got Diamond Bright sponsoring the channel. And good news for you guys as well. For September, they're giving 20% off everything in their shops. If you head over to diamondbright.co.uk, you can get 20% off all of their stuff. And I really do like all of their things. But their Ultra Glass, I've been told by a professional detailer, is one of the best on the market. And their tyre and plastic stuff called Replenish is amazing. I love that stuff. I even do my shoes with it. Right. Available out to the UK? Yes, it is, but I'm not sure what the postage costs are, so I don't know about that. Hello, Phil. Right. Will it take scratches out of paint? Yes, the One Cut will. I'm praying to do some videos about what stuff is good, but there's a product called One Cut which took the hideous scratches out of the Volvo paint. So yeah, really, really good with that. Right, hello. Oh, let's go back. Lots of people all suddenly come and say hello. So hello, everybody just signed in and said hello. Snoop Vlog, Mechanical Moron. There are lots of people there. Medieval Richard, hello. John Paulie, hello. You're right. So I'm looking out for. Thank you very much indeed, free pie and chips, Darren. This is amazingly good news. It means this channel, which is kind of gradually becoming my job, is actually sort of worth doing. I mean, there are all kinds of things making it worth doing. Slough, sunny Slough. Yeah, if you want to become a channel member, that means you get a little icon next to your name in the live chat things, and I'll see you popping up there more easily because they are coming. Oh gosh, clearly it's a good night to be doing this because they're coming in thick and fast. Are you enjoying your 206 Coupe? Oh, brilliant, well done. I'm glad it's running properly. Hello, Thomas. Hello, there's a. If you see Thomas's comment, he's got a rover icon next to him. He is a channel member. What happened to the Alpha? The Alpha is still. I've had to do a proper run through all of the cars at the moment. Yeah, so let's do all our what's going on with all the cars right now kind of thing. Next to something with the Minder Capri. I'm hoping to do something next week on the Minder Capri. We'll start off with that one. I'm not actually doing the work on the Minder Capri. That's with a proper body shop who know what they're doing, and so it's fitting it around their schedule. And they've got lots of cars going on. So when they do things to it, I pop down and do catch up with it. So I'm hoping to go down next week and see where they got to. So hopefully there'll be some paint and body work on that one. That'll be exciting. The Alpha, I know it needs a lot more work. I haven't checked in because when I make that phone call, it's going to cost me a bunch of cash. So I've got a sack of money ready for when that happens. Hello, Cumbria. Yeah. Actually, yeah, pretty you guys. So yes, a couple of people have come forward who are breaking TPO-based cars and offered me strut tops. I've passed the information on to the garage, and I'm waiting for him to see if he can use them or not. So yeah, I think if you can fix it without strut tops, then great. If we need the strut tops, we've got them very locally to hand actually. So that's really, really good indeed. Hello, more people. Still dreaming of getting a Rover 216 GTI twin cam? Yeah, do it if you can find one. Apparently a YouTuber is planning to supercharge a Jimny. Yeah, that'd be brilliant. I'd love to do that. Who are they called? Freiburger and the Roadkill crew. They did a V8 into a Jimny, which is hilarious. Hello, Cumbria. Oh, James, hello, from the 145 register. Nice to see you. Good evening. Well, no news on mine yet. It's still there. Still waiting to hear what's going on. Yeah, Fly Drive Ride. Grab yourself some One Cut. It's absolutely brilliant. It's quite heavy duty stuff, but it does leave a good finish, and you can then follow up with a one polish, I think it's called, a one finish, or any other polish, and that gives you a nice finish. Absolutely transformed the Volvo. Do I have affiliate links? Yes, if you look in the last couple of videos, there are links to diamondbright.co.uk, which is basically what the link is in the last couple of descriptions. If the YouTube settings have worked, this will automatically put a link to that in the description. If not, I'll add it when I'm done later on. Oh, where are we going? Oh, lots of comments flying in. Yes, I'd love to review a Volvo 480 for all the recent classic Volvos. Burgundy Mark II, the Jag. Yeah, of course, it's Morse's car. It's classic. Did I have a look at the Rover P4 when I left the effort? No, I didn't. It was pouring with rain. I'm not sure that was a customer's car though. Up at the garage where the Alpha is right now. Updates on the other cars. The Mercedes, I haven't done a lot. I need to take all the brakes apart, and I'm waiting to get a bunch of bits in to fix that. The Tomcat, I'm going to do some work on that one tomorrow, so there'll be video maybe tomorrow evening on the Tomcat, although it hasn't really broken at all. Just needs some odd jobs doing to it. Hello, Robert. The stupid convertible still won't start. And last time I touched it, I went out and the immobiliser came back on again, but I left it disconnected for a day, and this afternoon it decided it would crank over again now, so that is getting annoying. Any thoughts on vehicles coming and leaving the fleet? Well, yeah, the convertible might be leaving sooner rather than later if it doesn't put its finger out and stop being such a pain. I would love to do a Rover 25. I would actually quite like to buy a Rover 25, or actually ideally a 200 before that. Yes, finally got the right belt for the Merc. Yeah, after a couple of goes trying to find the right one. But yeah, the Mercedes now is absolutely fantastic. It just starts on the button every time. It moves. The transmission is good. It just wants to go. But the brakes are the next sticking point. Pun intended. No pun intended. But yeah, I think I'm going to need to be swapping out the, what do you call it? The master cylinder. The brake master cylinder is changing, and then all the flexi hoses need changing. So yeah, that's going to be a bit of a big job, and probably all the calipers are going to need rebuilding, I expect, on that. So yeah. Would I have a Merc Cavalier Mark III as a daily driver if I didn't have a Merc? If I didn't do big mileage, I would, yes. But I do, like today, I did nearly 300 miles going to work and back. So it wouldn't be fair on the car, and I want air conditioning. So I've got this thing running around, so my finger keeps going near the... Hello, Steve. I'm good, thank you. Yeah, Rover 25s and 45s are really good value at the moment. In fact, I passed a Rover 200, it's an R8 on the motorway, stuffed with mountain bikes on the motorway this afternoon. Oh, that's really nice of you, Snoop. I tell you, that City Rover, that was hilarious. Thank you so much to Elliot, the owner of that car, who lent it to us. That was just fantastically generous, knowing we were going to rip it to pieces. Yeah, sorry, Free Pie and Chips Garage, Darren. Yes, there was a BRM edition. That's the one I really want of the 25, or 200 it was actually, rather than 25, with the orange intake, the red leather seats. That or a VI, but I think I prefer to go for the BRM. They do turn up. There's a one with terrible paint for sale not long ago for 1,500 quid, but it needed about 3 grand spent on the paint. Just scrapped German Rover 200 1.4. Oh yeah, I know you scrapped it. Didn't like it. That's a shame. Rover 827 former traffic car. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool to have as a thing to. What are my opinions on Sagondis? Either I'm unaware of what that is or that's a typo, so get back to me on that one. I'd possibly buying a Rover 420 GSI HHI. Yeah, that's a nice car. You'll enjoy that. Hello, Saudi. Yeah, Mark II Cavalier. Absolutely fantastic. One of the best Cavaliers ever. One of the best Vauxhall ever. Yeah, Rover Joe, yeah, get the bit of underseal on that, take care of the rust, it'll go on forever. Hello, Matt. Matthew Meredith, just want to say a big thank you to Matthew Meredith there. If you're going to find him on Instagram, he's Sparklight Photography, and he does lots of very nice landscapey stuff, and I know a big thank you and a bottle of wine, because he took the split Rover Coupe 200 convertible cover off this week, the Keeping the Rain Out cover, and sewed it back together, which is wonderful, so it's not leaking water into the thing anymore. Oh, Psycho, good man, thank you very much indeed. Oh yeah, Psycho, I quite often do a morning live chat, so you don't often see me. You often say you've missed it. That will be very much appreciated. That will be going on the cars. In fact, it has gone on the cars this week because I ordered the convertible hood for the 200. So, do I like the SD3 260 VTS? I like all the SD3s, especially that one actually. What's my relationship with Stone Cold Classics? It's a symbiotic relationship. They lend me cars, I do videos of them. They then get lots of people being aware of what their cars are. So we are just two friends who have businesses which go together really quite usefully, actually. So no money changes hands, just borrow cars and sell them for him. And I get to drive lots of really fun cars, which I would never get into otherwise. So that works out really well. Similar with Sussex Classics as well, and also Percival Motors, which I've not been down to for a while. Oh, hello, the ZX guy. Well, I hope you enjoy what you see. Jesus loves me. Well, I'm not sure he does. He's left that Rev 206 convertible at someone else. Would I review a rare MG Express van? Not only would I review one, I would like to buy one. I saw one for sale not long ago, but it's just slightly too expensive. Oh, Fly Drive Ride. Oops, hang on. Welcome to Furious Driver. You can become a channel member if you hit the link in the description below, and then you get your little logo next to your name when you comment, and I can see it popping up straight away rather than just sort of scroll back. Now, bear with me a second. Bear with, Call. I'm going to rotate the iPad because the camera is on the wrong side. Oh, I can't do it. And I keep putting my finger across the camera when I go to scroll. 928 or 944. Oh, if it was a 928 manual, I would go for that over the 944 because it's a big V8. Thanks, Matt. Just restored an Alpha 75. Oh, brilliant. Love those. Do you think my next car is an MX-5? Well, maybe not my next car, but when it looked like the Alpha was dead, my wife did say, great, we can get rid of that and buy an MX-5, because she's wanted an MX-5 for ages, and I bought an MR2 last time. That was an option, and that went down badly. And she keeps on reminding me how much she liked an MX-5. So yeah, I think we could fit one in quite happily. Oh, another me and Ian. Oh, thank you very much, Dave. I'm sure Ian appreciates that. Cyclone, thank you very much. You are the Bart Simpson of the evening. Can I send photos on here? I don't know. You can actually. I wish I could say yes, you can. If not, stick them on the Facebook page. That and then if we see stuff on there, that's probably the best way. If you want to share, if you want to share pictures to the group, I'm not sure we can. I don't think YouTube lets you send pictures, but if you stick it on Facebook, Furious Driving, then you will almost certainly get seen, and people will be able to comment on that and chuck some opinions. Volvo P1800, yeah, they're really cool. I was quite fancy one. My parents nearly bought one of them once, but I think they got an Opel Manta instead, which is also quite cool actually. What do you think of my new purchase? A 3.8 litre Mitsubishi Pajero. Oh yeah, a GCC spec. I'm not sure what the GCC spec is. They are very cool actually. They're kind of mini Shogun. They're very cool. Would you buy a new Alfa Romeo Giulia? Yes, and I was actually talking to someone from Alfa Romeo the other day, saying how much I would like to buy one, but only if they would do an estate car. Stop doing silly SUVs and do an estate Giulia, and I'll be the first. I'll be camping outside the dealership to go and buy one, regardless what the finance is. I'll sell the house and the dogs and the kidney. Now I've got to say thank you to someone for £5. Oh, here we go, James A. I quite like the 944. No, I don't think it would have been better with the Audi 5-cylinder engine, because that 4-cylinder with the twin balancer shafts was so smooth and powerful. I think it worked really well, because if you went for a 5 or a 6-cylinder, it would have added extra weight to the nose, and it was just perfectly balanced and it had plenty of power, lots of torque. It revved really freely. So yeah, I think it worked out really well as it was. I don't think you could have improved it with a 5 or a 6. If you want to go for a V8, then the 928 is there waiting. Oh, Middle East spec. Oh, okay. Gulf Corporation Council. That's interesting. I've just learned something new. Interesting. I've been offered another Middle Eastern car for review this week, which actually I'm going to say sorry to everyone who's offered me cars recently over the last few months, because I'm going to jump into that quite quickly because it's one of my favourites. What would I say my favourite car is? Probably the Rover P6, just because I've had one for so long and I really, really like it. But then there's lots of others I really like as well, like the old Alpha 156 I absolutely loved because it was so good. BMW 30 is really cool, but the steering's terrible. Yeah, lots of favourite cars, like a lot of pre-war 1930s things that I really like as well. So yeah, too many cars to say are brilliant. What was that last question? Did I teach myself to weld? Yeah, don't think anyone else is going to take responsibility for that effort, do you? Trab, I know nothing about bikes, so I'm going to say Ninja because it sounds cooler. Where did I get the Rover mug from? Ah, glad you asked. This is on the Redbubble store. If you go to the Redbubble links in any of the videos and look at the other items, in fact, there's normally a link straight to the Rover badge stuff. You can get this Rover badge on a t-shirt, on mugs, on notepads, a wall clock, you name it is on there. But yeah, I drink out of it all the time. I've got a spare one here which I broke the handle on. Actually, that one has a broken handle, so I don't drink out that one. Good classic first car. Well, oh, hey Dave. Any more progress on the Rover P6? I'll be honest, I've ignored it because this last week and a half at work has been insane, and I've not had 5 minutes to look at any cars in the drive, which is kind of why I'm doing a live chat today because I've got nothing else to show you. But I'm going to get onto something tomorrow. Hang on, where was I? Good first classic car. Rover 200s are really, really good. If you can find an Astra or an Escort, they would be quite decent because they're kind of retro these days. Get yourself a Dolomite. I want to go 70s, tax-free. Dolomite or an Allegro. Allegros are really cheap. Well, they're getting a bit valuable now, but they're a bit interesting, a bit different. Or a Triumph Acclaim. If you can find a Triumph Acclaim, Honda reliability, Triumph fun, lots of toys, very good cars. Am I a fan of Saab? Yes, I think they're really good. I've never owned any Saabs actually. I've nearly bought a Saab 9.5 when I bought the Mondeo, and I wish I had. Yeah, you're going to love that Rover 200. Opinion on Suzuki Jimneys, they are brilliant, and the current generation is the best one of all. They are absolutely fantastic. If you go back to the videos, I've driven a couple of them, more the latest ones, and I think they are brilliant. I'd have one over the new Defender actually. Hello Yorkshire. Jason Cornett, I've seen a jacked up MX-5 off-road. Yeah, I think I've seen that. I'm not sure what it's based on. Maybe on a Bronco or something. But yes, I have seen that as well. Where are we on? Have I ever driven a Jowett? Actually, no, I haven't driven a Jowett, but I've been in quite a few of them. They have really interesting cars, actually. They're such a small, independent Yorkshire car company, really over-engineered. Dave, hello. I think you've asked me a P6 question already. I'm skimming back a bit. Bright Audi Quattro and Ashes to Ashes is very cool indeed. What do I think of the 2.9 Ferrari Mondial? It is an affordable Ferrari. It's quite cool in that it is a less expensive one. It's less an obvious one. It's not the prettiest of them all, but it's not bad though. There's a P6 question, so I'll go to this one. Hello Sheffield. Went to college in Sheffield. Would you prefer to drive a P6 2.2 manual over a 3.5 auto? Yes, especially with the TC. The TC 2.2 is actually, I would say, the best of the P6 range, because you've got virtually the same power, you've got a faster revving engine, and it just feels more sporty. It's yeah, it just works really well. Unfortunately, there's almost no 2.2 TCs left because for a long time they weren't road tax free, so they got scrapped for their engines, and there's almost none left now, which is a shame because I quite fancy one of those. Oh dear, James. Nearly bought a Rover 25, but still didn't test drive. Bought a Fiesta 1.6 instead. Oh, never mind, James. I've fly drive right. I've fly. No, well, I can't. I keep getting your name wrong. Fixed drive fly. Some words. Putting a bike engine in a Sinclair C5. That is something I thought about, and I have seen it done before, and it is utterly insane. But I want to stick with electric because it was electric, and electric's the future. Car Wizard or Scotty Kilmer? Car Wizard. Scotty Kilmer is interesting, but he does get on my nerves a little bit. Car Wizard, he's got a lot of actual knowledge and wisdom, and he's quite entertaining and down to earth. Old Citroens are the best. Older the better, really, with Citroens. Have I driven the Proceed Kia? No, I haven't actually. No, I need to go and rectify that. Everyone needs more Dolomite content on their channel. Dolomites are brilliant. I don't think I am going to the BMC show tomorrow. I just didn't plan for it, which is very, very poor indeed. I suppose I could, but I was working all day today. I got stuck on the M3 and the M25 and the M27, so a quick nip down to the coast to do a quick job today took all day, so I kind of need to put some family time in this weekend. Luxury or poverty spec? That depends on the car, really. I'm happy to take either, depending on what the car is. and what suits it best. But I've no problem with the poverty spec cars. Let's break. Please review an Alpha Sud. Do you know, I think I might have an Alpha Sud in the wings, actually. I'm looking forward to doing that one. Just BX, my 67 Jimny. So yeah, Jimnys just hold their money like crazy because they're fantastic, and they're stopping making them because of emissions. They don't quite hit the emissions mark, which is a real shame. Vauxhall Astra GT 16 valve, fantastic. That's not going to fit in a Sinclair C5 though. 1600 red top. What do I think of the Mark 1 Audi TT? Do you know, I followed one on the motorway this morning, and I was amazed how little it looked and how small and kind of old and retro it looks now, which is amazing. It's not really that old, it's 20 odd years old though, isn't it? But yeah, I quite like them now. I always did like the Mark 1s a lot more than the later ones. 200 acclaims left. I knew it. Yeah, I did actually say the number not long ago on the video. Sorry, I'm trying to skim through the comments. Am I going to the NEC? I don't think I am. I think they're a bit optimistic putting it on. Also, bear in mind that COVID kind of affects older people more than younger people, and a lot of car enthusiasts do tend to be the older generation, and it's kind of a bit morbidly potentially killing off your own fan base, your own customer base, if you put them all indoors in an air-conditioned environment which is recirculating the same air. So I think I'm going to steer away from it this year. I wish I wasn't, but I just don't think it's worth the risk. What car from 1993 would you recommend as the first car with an engine of 1.3 or less? Wow. Yeah, random tat, I think you're right. Yes, I would probably look at a 1993. Escorts in 93 were a bit meh. If you could find yourself a Fiesta, that'd probably be okay. Find a Rover, was Rover 200? Is that the 1.3 still around on the Rover 200 then? I don't think 1.3 Lancia Delta. Anything smaller even. Micras are good back then. I've driven a couple of their 90s Micras and they're really good cars. Or Peugeot 205. Get yourself a 205, they're nice. I am very sad they're not making the new Jimny anymore. I wish they would put a hybrid or electric in it or something and keep it going because it's fantastic. What is the cheapest new car on sale today that's built in Britain? Oh, I don't know actually. Could say base entry level Mini, but I don't think that's that cheap anymore, is it? It's probably something from Toyota, Nissan, or Honda, I would guess. I don't know actually. Mark 1 Punto 1.2. Yes, you know I like them, Jason. The 1.2, I'll go for the 1.6 if I could though. Yeah, 205s are getting pricey, but there are bargains are out there. Check out on places like Facebook Marketplace and Gumtree. You'll find some real bargains. Oh, hang on. I'm going to say a massive thank you to Terminal Velocity. Thank you very much indeed. That's going in the T Fund and buying bits for Knackered Rovers Fund, and actually buying bits for the brakes for the Mercedes Fund now. The W123 needs brakes. Rover Maestro, yeah, they're better than people think. I've done a review of one, it was good. They're really, really good. Not the prettiest cars, but they're kind of an acquired taste visually, but they're good cars though. Fiat Pandas, yeah, they're excellent. Actually, given the choice between a Maestro and a Panda, I would go Panda. It's not the obvious choice, but ever driven a Cinquecento Sporting? Yeah, they're awesome. And right next to that question from Snoop is Rover Metro question mark. Yeah, Metros are good as well, but I think I would go for the Cinque Sporting. I think it's a little bit more fun, a bit more Italian as well. Sorry, please hold caller. Oh wow, £500 1989 Volvo 740 on Gumtree. Wow, that sounds good actually. Wow, Rover Joe's got a Vauxhall Nova Saloon. I think it was called the Belmont the other day. They are astonishingly rare now. So if I'm skipping over your question, it's not deliberate because the writing's tiny and it keeps vanishing. Just bought a BMW X3M. Well, I'm going to have to say no to that one because it's an SUV. You know me and SUVs. I don't do SUVs. Oh, dear me. Have I ever reviewed a Scimitar GTE, not for your driving. I've reviewed them for print, but not for online. Have I driven a Senator 3 litre 24 valve? I've been in one because one of the first classic car magazines I worked on, the art editor had one, and that was an absolute hoot, and it went round circles and sideways quite easily, I seem to remember. Well, if anything changes, I will put a thing on Facebook and Twitter saying I'm going to the BMC show, but I think I probably need to be at home tomorrow, sadly. Where are we at? How's progress on W123? I've been at work all week. It's been a crazy week, so I've not had a chance, but it needs to have all the brakes taking off. I've been exploring what I need, and I think I need everything. So a big week of spending money on that one coming up, but it does still run beautifully. So 205 in a breakers yard. Wow, hope it was, well, anything worth saving on it. Do grab it and eBay it rather than let it get crushed. What do I think of Series 1 Land Rover Discovery? I think they're brilliant. I really like a 3-door, the really early ones. They're definitely becoming collectible, so especially the 3-door ones. If you can find a V8 one, brilliant, even better. What do I think of the Rover 800 Fastback? It's a great looking car, nice to drive as well. So I'm losing myself in the comments again. God, they're coming in thick and fast, blimey. I only got 135 people watching, but crikey, you're typing a lot tonight, guys. Thank you. Volume seems a bit low. Maybe I need to get a bit closer to the thing. I can shout more. Belmont was the Astra version. I knew that, but I also thought the Nova was called a Belmont as well. I thought it was just Vauxhall's random. Is that Eccles in Manchester? That's quite a long way from Kent, unfortunately. Maybe I do need to go to Manchester at some point because I've been offered other cars in Manchester as well. But I do know someone close with Pandas. How do I convince my wife to let me have so many vehicles? Asking for a friend. I let her buy dogs. The dogs are less. The cars are less trouble than the dogs. Pea green Allegro 3. Oh, lovely. There, I did once take some photos of a pea green Allegro convertible, which sadly doesn't live near anymore, but I'd love to go and see that car again. Any Talbots? No, I've known people with Talbots, and I know someone with a nice collection of Talbots actually. I must go and bother him to let me take one out, because they're quite cool cars there. For some reason, it keeps jumping back to the Discovery Series 1 question. If I had to trade all my cars for one forever car, what would it be? Oh my word, that's a tough question. Probably 159 Estate 4-wheel drive if I could find one. There's none left, so I'll stick with all my piles of junk. So very quick thank you, David Vickers. I really do appreciate that. Super chat if you want to donate to the channel and make a project happen. You can even add a note on there, I think, and say which one you would like to sort of push towards. Super chat, David, thank you, appreciate that. That will be going towards the Mercedes, I think, most likely, or possibly one of the Rovers. Yeah. Ever driven a Talbot Samba? No, my neighbour's first car was a Samba when I was growing up. But I've not actually driven one. They were very good little rally cars, weren't they, though? Oh, hello, Mr. Nobody Important. We met the other day, didn't we? Oh, dear me, so I'll go back through these. Have I driven a Volvo 850 T5? No, I haven't actually, no. Yeah, Belmonts did look a bit weird, didn't they? But yeah, you're right, if you lowered one, the proportions would look better. Have I driven a Hillman Imp? Yes, I need to drive another one because I've not driven one in a long time. God, someone's had an Allegro for 33 years. That's some commitment to an Allegro. Volvo W140. Do you know what? I sat in one of those the other day. I was doing my other job, and I sat in a W140 V12 coupe. My word, that was an astonishingly nice car. It's actually for sale at about £7,000, and I was sorely tempted to go and sell a dog because that was just so nice. Just seeing you got my first car on your channel, Mark 1 Punto. Oh, I assume that's not the car I drove, because I think the guy has not sold that car, because I said I wanted to buy it if he did. Mark II Cavalier is one of those comfortable cars. Yeah, bizarrely, Vauxhalls always have way too hard seats. They're not very comfortable at all, but the Mark II Cavalier was really nice. It's the last car that Vauxhall got really right, unfortunately. Any thoughts on Hubnuts Vectra? I think it's a nice, reliable car. I'm not a massive fan of Vectras. I've driven a couple of them, and they've basically nearly put me through hedges. They're not the most fun cars in the world, but they are tough and reliable, and they go on and on and on. Yeah, M's used to be quite good at race cars. I've not driven a Mitsubishi Galant. I would like to drive a Mitsubishi Galant. I always thought it looked really cool. That kind of big kind of wraparound headlight thing. Why didn't I turn the steering wheel to access the brakes on the Mini? Everyone kept saying that in the comments. I didn't need to. Loads of room in there. Alvis Store. Oh, yeah. You need to get more military vehicles in the channel. In fact, when lockdown happened, I had actually just arranged to do a drive in an armoured car. But that meant being really tightly in close proximity with the person who would be guiding me around how to drive it around a field. And so that's kind of on a back burner for the time being, which is a real shame because I was really looking forward to that. Yes, Mr. Nobody Important. Is it time to go back and look at the Capri again? Well, if you know of a nice Rover 25 GTI, then email bodyintheboot at gmail.com and let me know. That'd be really cool to do. Have I ever blown up an engine in either of my cars? Actually, no, I haven't, amazingly. No, I'm not sure how I haven't, but I haven't. I did drive the Rover 2000 with not all of its valves for a while. It was a bit down on power, but it kept on working. Oh yeah, same make and model, Mark 1 Punto. Have I watched the recent Car Wizard videos? Yes, I have, with his W123. That's quite interesting. Amazing how everyone else's W123s are not as bad as mine. Would I consider opening a Discord server? If I knew how to, yes. I will look into it. I'll talk to Laurie's Mechanical Marvels, because they do that kind of stuff, and they seem to be, they're all kind of IT people and know how to do these kind of clever things. I'll talk to them, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. No plans for an MGF. I've done the MGTF, which is the later MGF. I really do like an MGF. I nearly bought one last year for a cheap car challenge, and I think if I had, I would still have it. Scrap, hire, own Mini 2CV original Fit 500. I would own the Mini. I can't answer that. I like them all. David, thank you very much indeed. David Craig, super chat. Really do appreciate that. That's really cool indeed. That's definitely going in the tea and biscuit fund for the garage. And also I see Terminal Velocity. Thank you very much indeed, Terminal. Again, have I ever heard of an Allegro Quip? Yes, you had one. Wow. Hang on. I'm trying to tap on your thing and Illy reported you to the moderator. You sold it to the founder of Overfinch. That's a really cool story. If you go and find Johnny Smith's channel, I've forgotten what it's called, Car Pervert, he dug an Allegro Quip out of a garage where it had been sat for 20 or something years, and so they're restoring one with a classic car garage. So yeah, they have really quite interesting cars. Whoops. Max, yes, Triumph Stag. You know what the thing is? With a Triumph Stag, if they're really good, they're amazing, but there's so many bad ones that they get a really bad rap. So when I finally drove a really good one, I suddenly realised how good they were. You drop me an email, bodyintheboot@gmail.com. That'd be great, and I'll see if we're local enough to do that. Oh, Terminal Velocity, thank you again. Actually, it's unfair on the Hyundai Coupe. I kind of wish I hadn't sold the Hyundai Coupe, but it was one too many cars, and part of the deal of the competition was to sell it, which is a shame, but I do still know where it is. What do I think about buying ex-UK police car? Um, that's always a bit of a grey area, because on the one hand, they never go cold. They're serviced when they're hot. They're anything they need, they're replaced regardless of cost straight away to keep them absolutely tip top. So they are incredible cars in terms of maintenance, but the abuse they get is horrific. They go from sort of standstill to full revs quite a lot. But yeah, I've been in a BMW garage in London one time, and they were putting a new back axle in it, and I just asked what the deal was, and apparently they've been chasing someone and they tore the back axle off on a speed bump, and that kind of damage isn't massively uncommon. So you do get a bargain, but you do have a very, very, very hard life. But if it's an old enough one that's like a proper classic, then yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting car. I think you have to pronounce stag the same way as say jag. Stag. Yes, you're correct. You do. I've got an E39. I saw a beautiful gold E39 today. I was just driving down towards Bournemouth, and I saw it just turning on a road a little way away. It was a proper old man base spec, turbine wheels, gold everything, brown interior. Oh, lovely. Would I like to review 350 bhp Astra VXR? Yeah, that sounds fun actually. Email me. Yeah, it is a brand new axle, although it has torn all the mountings apart. So at some point, that's going to start rattling pretty badly. Police car, that is. Thoughts on Alpha 146? I think they're really nice. I had a 146 for a while. I really, really enjoyed driving it, and it's different. It's a different looking car to the 145, despite being the front ends are the same. Yeah, if you can find one, go for it. But do check it really well. I mean, I bought mine thinking it was a good car, and it wasn't. They rust out in the sills, they rust out in the toe boards, they rust out in the strut tops, and it's all expensive, difficult repairs. Also, check the oil has been topped up very, very regularly, because 145s, 146 for any car with a twin spark, it uses a lot of oil, about a litre every 1,000 miles, and if you don't keep it topped up, it will burn through the cylinder number 3, and then you have a massively expensive engine report on your hands. Oh, terminal. No, first of all, thank you very much indeed. I do very, very much to appreciate that. But yeah, that sounds like a really, really cool story, actually. You know a farmer who has a Dolomite Sprint and a Triumph Vitesse sitting in a barn on blocks. Are they for sale? By any chance? That sounds like an interesting project. I bought an undercover Zara ex-police car. That's an interesting car. Wow. Does that run okay? That sounds like a really interesting car. That sounds amazing. Yeah, Terminal Velocity, drop me an email, bodyintheboot@gmail.com. We've been going for 35 minutes. I'll just say again, thanks again to Diamond Bright, who are now sponsoring the channel. If you joined the channel since the chat since started, Diamond Bright are now sponsoring Furious Driving as a regular thing. And to celebrate this all through September, if you go on diamondbright.co.uk shop, you can get 20% off everything, which is a significant saving. I'm a big fan of their gloss cleaner and a replenish tyre cleaner stuff, which are two very good products amongst many others. I'm losing track of my comments now. Did I solve the Rover 200 Cabrio starting problems? No, and the other day someone was around here and I was just demonstrating, and it got worse because the immobiliser came back on again, went off again today, but I don't know why, it just did. And no, I've been ignoring the Alpha Rusty strut tops because it's going to cost money when I make the phone call to see how it's going. I did find a barn which looked really nice and abandoned. I was trying to work out who owned it. It's probably a farmer somewhere, but my wife did point out it looked massively like it would get broken into, so we kind of left that alone for the time being. What's my opinion of the Ford Mondeo ST220? I think they're absolutely fantastic. They're really, really good cars. I wish I'd bought one instead of my 2-litre diesel. Rover Joe, drop me an email. I might have a couple of Rover 25s on hand, so I might sort of see who's the most local and which one has got the most appropriate spec. But do drop me an email and we'll talk about that. Do I like Jaguar S-Types? I do, yeah. They're kind of grown on. I didn't really like them so much when they were new, but I'm very much kind of getting into them now. I must be getting old. Well, I do need to do a trip to Yorkshire because I've got about a dozen car offers that people have very kindly made to drive cars, and they all seem to be in Yorkshire, so I need to go and probably spend a couple of days up there. Father and son YouTubers both own ST220s. What's their name? That sounds interesting. Yeah, I need to do some more Renaults. It's just kind of what I find, really. I don't really have much of a plan a lot often. We'll find out, yeah. Mr. Yeah, Mr. Nobody. I'll drop him a message on Facebook. So if you're talking to him, then yeah, see how we're going with that. So another conversation going on. Hello, Mirage. Am I going to the BL show tomorrow? I was thinking about it, but I had to work all day today, so I probably won't be just because I was working all day today. Do Diamond Bright do mugs? Do you know? I don't know. If they don't, I'll suggest it to them. Have a look in the Diamond Bright shop, and if you're online now, let me know. Oh, Darren, thank you. Take an 850 T5 for a drive around America. Yeah, I might take on a road trip. You want to see me for a while, I'll start off in your place, and I'll see you a week later with about 10,000 miles on it, on an 850 T5. I didn't even know they sold the 850 T5 in America, actually. That's quite interesting. Oh, free pie and chips. How are you coping with the storms, by the way? Because it looked pretty nasty on the weather front there, really. The Reality Vines, is that the father and son with ST220? What's my favourite item on the shelves behind you? That's a really good question. There's some good books up here. Eeny, meeny, miny. We've got the Austin 7 book, that's good. The W123 book, that's good. There is somewhere in here. This is the classic Rover P6 book, which is the James Taylor book, which is quite hard to get hold of. It was out of print for a long time. That's a really good resource. I don't know if you can see it or not. I might just twist this a tiny bit. There is, oh god, the Alfa Romeo big tome. That's a really good book, which I was lucky to find on eBay for actually not much money at all, funny enough. Also some quite unusual. I'm quite into kind of ships and things, and this is some quite interesting, quite out of print Queen Mary books. So yeah, there's some quite interesting stuff up here. Oh, actually, also the Vauxhall File model by model book, which a friend at Vauxhall gave me a couple of years ago. So yes, there's some interesting books up there, mostly transport related. Any thoughts on a meet for Furious Meat? Yes, I've been thinking a lot about that. I'm trying to work out if it's safe, if it's responsible, if I brought everyone together and then everyone suddenly got sick and it was my fault. Would I feel bad, or would I have no conscience? Yeah, I'm definitely that's on hand. Maybe I'll do a poll on Facebook in the next couple of days saying would everyone like to do it still at the moment, and also where to do it as well. Because I'm in the southeast, and so if I had it sort of local to me, I could maybe get a few of my cars along. But I know a lot of people are in the west and north and all over the place, so sort of coming sort of south of London isn't necessarily the greatest for everyone else. Just good for me. So yeah, maybe I'll suggest a couple of places and see where might be good for folks to meet up at. What do I think of the E90 period of BMWs? They're actually quite good. The reliability isn't that special because the engines tend to explode, but the styling is quite nice, and it's kind of where they started getting a bit complicated. Vauxhall Astromax, fastest van ever. Yes, it is. How's the Minder car going on? I haven't actually checked in on it for a couple of days. I need to go back next week and have another double check on the Minder Capri. I'm really quite excited to see how it's coming along, because last time we saw it, it was basically in the primer they put on after it's been through the sanding, or through the media blaster. So yeah, hopefully by the time I go up to see it next time, it'll be in undercoat at least, or possibly in top coat. But I need to drive down and have a little look, see what they're doing. 80s Alfa Romeo 6, very angular, very not the prettiest of cars, but does drive fantastically. Oh, Guy Valentino, got a few cars on the East Coast. Drop me an email at bodyintheboot@gmail.com. I do have a friend on the East Coast, up in Ipswich or Norwich or somewhere. We need to go and visit. He's got some cars, so maybe I could carry on. FSO Polonaise. Oh, that's a car I'd like to go and have a test drive of. If anyone's got an FSO Polonaise or a Matra Rancho, I would love to drive either of those on the channel. So drop me a message if you've got one of them. What's my insurance like to drive all the cars, and what's the top value you're covered up to? Actually not bad, because it's a collector's policy with business use. It's actually not as terrible as you would think, and I'm insured up to about 25 grand. Oh, ZX guy, sorry, I showed a few books, I don't know which one you saying awesome book, I don't know which one, because I put about 3 out. That Rover book is brilliant. I've also got the James Taylor's classic Rover cars 1945 to 46 as well, which is another really, really useful resource. So when I'm doing a Rover review, those come in very handy. Yeah, I'm with James Taylor, I think, and it's a classic cars and new cars and business use and driving other people's cars all tied in together. It's really, really useful. I was going to get trade policy and trade plates, but it's just too expensive, at £2,500 or so, plus the trade plates. But maybe next year I'll do that. Oh yeah, S70 T5, bought brand new in 1998. They say, not worth a great deal unless you're a Volvo enthusiast or collector. I'm sure someone out there would definitely be interested in that. Adam, yeah, thank you. I love these Rover mags as well. I'm quite keen on these. Actually, these are really popular on the Redbubble store. They seem to go to Australia quite a lot, funnily enough. The tea tastes great from them. I haven't actually seen Classic Britain's latest video, so I don't know what he's got. I'm assuming it's another P6. 25 grand, crash them all and have money to spare. It's very much like when I rented a car in Chicago, and after a long explanation of what we couldn't do, we got the full waiver insurance, and said to the woman, so I could literally walk into the car park, set fire to the car right now, and hand you back the smouldering keys and walk away unscathed. And she just said, yes, but please don't. All right, and Volvo T5s are quite valuable in Sweden. But right-hand drive postman's car, yeah, you've said that before. Will the classic car be dying in 15 years? That's a really good question. I don't think anyone really knows the answer to that, because if they're going to stop, they're not going to stop the sale of petrol. It's going to stop the sale of new petrol cars. So petrol will continue to exist as a commodity, because there's going to be millions of cars still using it. But I think there's going to be a growing market in converting cars, classics, to either electric or LPG, or to even, I'm going to say hydrogen, because I think hydrogen is definitely the future for certain markets, and I think it could be convertible for internal combustion cars. So yeah, I don't think they completely did yet, and there's too much money tied into it. Oh, email is bodyintheboot@gmail.com. FSO Caro, I don't know that one. Put a picture on the Facebook group. Classic Britain's got 59 Edsall Villager Estate. Oh my word! Where did you find that from? Wow. Huh. I find it sad that there are limited social histories of cars explaining different subcultures. Yeah, different cars do mean different things to different people. I do try and get into that a bit on the videos, but not every time, but do try to a bit. I once borrowed an FSO Polonaise. It was awful. That's not the point. You know it's going to be awful, surely, before you go into it. Ooh, that's a difficult question here. Any retro cars that are overlooked and underpriced that are little diamonds? Oh, that's a really good question. Because all retro cars seem to be creeping up a bit in value these days, and just because anything that's a bit different, like a couple of years ago, 5 years ago, anything 70s, 80s Japanese was worth almost nothing, and suddenly they're worth 20,000. Don't know really. Probably micros. Micros are very good. I said micros earlier today in this chat, but yeah, if you get a K10, K11 micro, they're a lot better than people think they are. It's only because little old ladies used to drive them slowly, everyone hates them, but if you get one, they're actually a lot of fun to drive. Daihatsu Kuwari things disappeared. Avanzato TRXX 4-wheel drive microcar. If I could say it, I'd drive it. Vince, hydrogen is the future. I'm currently running a company in Shanghai making hydrogen stacks for Chinese manufacturer. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I think hydrogen, it's going to first start off with like HGVs, possibly ships as well. Anything that needs high power, long endurance, hydrogen is definitely better than battery. But I think once that infrastructure is there, the trickle down to regular cars, any long distance vehicles, anyone towing, hydrogen is definitely going to be the way forward. China is investing heavily in hydrogen powered vehicles, which do have significant advantages over EVs. Yeah, Toyota have got the Mirai, which is a really good one. What's with both me and Hubnut reviewing BMW 7 Series in a short succession? I don't know. It's a massive coincidence. After I put the Porsche up, James from I've forgotten his name. Blah, blah, blah. Come to me in a second. Messaged or put the comment up saying he just driven one as well. Oh, you've driven a hydrogen-powered Roe. Wow, what was it like? Do I like American classic cars? I absolutely love American classic cars. Classic American Magazine has been one of my biggest employers for the last 10 years, and I've really enjoyed pretty much everything I've been in and seen. Super fast. So the hydrogen Rover is super fast. That sounds really good. I'm quite excited to see one of those. So I was reading the long reply from Free Pine Chips Garages. He's got a quite interesting collection of cars over in America, actually, if you want to have a look at his channel at some point. Yeah, lots of extreme weather and tornadoes. Yikes. Frightening, but luckily everyone's okay. So I'll come back to the Do I like American cars? Land yachts. Yes, I love them. I really want an early 90s Chevy Caprice wagon or Buick Roadmaster wagon with the fake wood and the 5.7 V8. That would be a dream car for me, or a Crown Vic, or a Corvette actually, like a C4 Corvette. Bamford Bus Company developing hydrogen powered buses. Yeah, a lot of the heavy equipment is going hydrogen. Hoovy's selling some. I miss what Hoovy's selling. He's selling all kinds of stuff. I think Hoovy's suddenly realised that doing all the supercars isn't getting him the kind of reaction he wanted, so he's going back to the junkers he started with, which is kind of what people want, I think. Do I ride motorbikes? No, I've ridden one motorbike once and I fell off before the end of the drive, and that was the last time I touched one. Hello Davey, glad you can make it. What were you driving? Was the bike for sale? No, it wasn't. It belonged to a neighbour who finally persuaded me after months and months of, oh, you'll have a great time, take my bike for a ride. Regretted it. A DeLorean in Romford. I'd like to drive a DeLorean. I quite fancy one of those. Do you know Drendel? I should watch Vice Grip Garage. Yes, I was actually watching that yesterday. It really, really was very good indeed. He was pulling the Cadillac out of a field, driving back down the highway with a can of gas on the passenger seat. Richard Jones, I own Hubnut's old City Rover. Not as terrible as people say, only driven it a few yards. Drive it a little further and come back to me. The ride is astonishingly bad. And power steering, the biggest shock of all was, I think, the power steering, which I did mention in the video, is that it's got the weight assistant or the weight changing power steering, so or different levels of assistance depending how fast you go in a City Rover. Well, I assume it does. It feels like it does. But it would change weight midway through a corner, and suddenly you were pushing the car a certain number of degrees, and then suddenly it would be more degrees without warning, and it's actually a little bit dangerous. Hello Ford Escort XR3. Hello Brian, glad you can make it along. Good evening, good evening. What did my dad have when I was growing up? He had quite a few things actually. He had company cars, so he had a lot of Ford Cortinas as company cars. And then when the Sierra came out, I don't think he had a Sierra. He went up to Cavaliers after that for a bit. Then moved up to a really nice, one of my favourite cars of my childhood. He had an A-Reg Cavalier CD, which is absolutely loaded, metallic blue hatchback with those lattice alloys, a Mark II Cavalier. Then that went and got Carlton instead. But then he changed jobs, and it's a different company car scheme at that one, other company, and so we went from beautiful Carlton to look at Orion diesel, which he absolutely hated. But yeah, then he's had quite a few interesting cars, but because he did like time trial rallying, so we had Mark 1 Escorts, all covered in spotlights and stickers, which my mum took to Waitrose and Sainsbury's in the week, and he rallied in the weekend. They also had a Mark 1 Opel Manta and a mid-70s Range Rover as well, which is a great car. The first car I drove solo was that Range Rover. Free pie and chips. Used to have a collective policy with Haggerty. Actually, my last, until this year, I was with Haggerty, but they couldn't put my modern car on there for business use as well. So I moved over to, I think it's Peter James, but Haggerty now do that, so I could have stayed with them if my renewal had been like a month later. Oh, thank you for the comment. I love the channel. No, not like at all with the Rover convertible. If I hadn't just bought the hood fabric, or the complete hood, I might be jacking it in with that car, to be honest. But because I'm now sort of saddled with a £270 worth of hood coming for it, I'm kind of committed to making it run now. Would I ever consider an Alfa Sud? Yeah, absolutely. I've been in a couple of Alfa Suds. I think they're fantastic. It's just finding them these days is so rare. If I found a really nice one and it was the right money, I would maybe sell the 145 for it. But yeah, I'd definitely consider a Sud. They're really, really cool cars. Although what I really like actually over a Sud would be a Series 3 33 or a 33 with the four-wheel drive. What do you call it? It's got a name, which I've forgotten. Come to me in a second. Scottish car enthusiast, you missed. I mentioned earlier. No news on the Alfa because I'm avoiding making the phone call because it's going to cost loads of money when I finally do. He's going to ask me for cash. What's my favourite brand of diecast models? I'm not sure I really have a favourite brand. I've got a few mini champs I'm looking at over here, and I do really like the Norev stuff, which I'm looking at as well, because they do some really obscure things and really nice detail. Oh, random tat. Okay, I'll tell you, if it all goes horribly wrong, I will put a shout out on Facebook, on here, and I'll get you to put me in touch with someone who needs that thing, because at the moment it's really driving me absolutely mad. Was it Sportwagon 4x4 on the Alfa 33? It was Sportwagon, 2 words Sportwagon on the 33, and Permanent 4, that was it. The Sportwagon Permanent 4, that was the name. That is my kind of ultimate dream Alfa. 33 Sportwagon Permanent 4. I did see one for sale though the other day. It was at 20 grand. They've gone from £500 bangers that no one wants to unbelievably desirable, which is very annoying. Do I agree Mark 1 Focuses are really chuckable driving? Absolutely, they are absolutely fantastic cars, and it's something I actually quite like to find a really early one and tuck it into a garage somewhere, because I think they're definitely worth saving. My dad had an E30 318 IS with square headlights from the factory. I've seen a few of those, but I don't think they were factory. I think that was either a dealer or aftermarket option, because it was, I think it was Zender actually did that, a Zender kit. You may be able to buy that from the dealer or maybe straight to a Zender body shop. But yeah, they were available at the time and they were fitted to brand new cars. Often with arch extensions and other things as well. The Carlton was lovely. I think it really blew me away with the Carlton when I was very small, was the electric window switches had the little light up logo of the window, and I was sitting in the back going, oh, it's got glowing switches, wow. Cadillac BLS, which is really a Saab 9.3. I'd rather have the Saab, I think. What was the next guy? 26. Oh, yeah. Goodbye. I hope you've had a nice evening. Oh yeah, the 1.8 Sierra Sapphire. That was great. It looked like an uncover police car. That Sierra Sapphire actually towed me home when the Rover P6 broke down in town after a night out once, and we had to tow it back. And I think the towing, it actually stretched something in the back a little bit, because it's never quite the same again. Ever considered getting a motorcycle license and tinkering with two-wheel motors? I'm sure it'd go horribly wrong. I've thought about it. I would quite like to do something really, really old motorbikey, but I don't know. I reckon I'll probably crash it and get hurt. When I found a DeLorean with a flux capacitor, give you a call. If I found a DeLorean with a flux capacitor, I wouldn't still be in 2020. Someone did offer me some strut top mounts, someone very local, and I've tried to give the garage a call a couple of times about did he want them definitely for sure or not, and he's not come back to me yet. So, oops, I need to give both of them another shout tomorrow. Do I fancy reviewing a Scania? Yes, definitely. What kind? Hello, Ricky. Ford XR3. Both of you and Dad, 3 of them like that. Yeah, the Mark 1 Focus drives so much better than any of the Escorts, but the Escorts are just kind of just cooler, aren't they? It's like Capris are really cool when you look at them, but driving them is not that great. Oh, Terry, nice to you come along, and hopefully see you again soon. Yeah, Orion gears are nice. This wasn't an Orion gear my dad had. It was a basic LD diesel, which was unusual back in those days. Oh, where's this comment's gone? Have I thought about restoring a van? The thought has crossed my mind actually, because every now and then you do need a van. If you've got some kind of retro van, you don't need to go and rent one. You just go and pull the classic out, and you can use your retro van for something useful. Does a Super Snipe with a 3.8 Hemi sound good? Yes, it does. In fact, working for Custom Car, I've actually photographed one with a V8. I don't think it was a Hemi V8, but it was a V8, and it looked really, really cool. It was yellow, and I really loved it. Yeah, watch JR Go is really good. Yeah, I did like Watch JR Go's kind of series of buying ridiculous sort of under $100 cars and then flipping them. That was quite entertaining. But then he did always have kind of expensive things in the background, because he had the Audi R8 for absolutely ages, and he kind of didn't dare touch the engine because it's so much money. He didn't want to break it. But yeah, he's quite entertaining. I don't know if he's trained mechanic or if he's just a good backyard mechanic. But yeah, also his buddy or his brother who works with him is really good. So between them, they've got a lot of knowledge. So I'm getting lost in people having a conversations in the comments, and now I'm getting lost. Year 2000 Rover 75 Club 1.8, the silver matte black as opposed to the colour coded. Does that indicate where it was made? And people have already answered yes, it was a Cowley car. There's a really good thing on Radio 4 which a couple of people emailed me about the demise of British Leyland, which is very interesting. I actually heard it in the car when I was going somewhere. But yeah, if you find that on, I think it'd be on BBC Sounds on Radio 4. It was really good. Hello, Big Guy 45s. They're all military guys. Oh, okay, yeah, makes sense. Greggs or Pound Bakery? Don't have Pound Bakery around here, so it'd have to be Greggs. Jimny van with a TD engine. Ooh, Jimny van would be quite useful. Actually not very useful because they're too small. I need something I can get a bonnet into, really. Oh, there's a Mark 5 Escort Estate on eBay. Well, that's tempting. I'll be straight to eBay after this. A car I don't need and probably won't like, but would buy anyway. My friend Scottish car journalist David Finley ran a Mirai at Gurston Downhill. Oh, really? Well, that's interesting. David Finley, I think I might have met him actually. Bitter or lager? Bitter. But I don't mind a lager on a hot day. No, you shouldn't have sold your Urus R Limited. Yeah. Oh, so you're already going off to go and look at that Mark 5 Escort Estate. Anyone familiar with Sarah and Tune? Yeah, Sarah and Tune's really good. Again, she's another ex-military person with lots of motoring knowledge and a very good channel. El Camino with a big block? Yes, of course. What kind of stupid question is that? Bitter Matt? No. E. Slater, got an argument with wife and husband there going on between the greatest looking car, the Austin Ambassador, and the Riva 500. That is a strange argument. Ed China's Shed, not the greatest looking car of all time, but very entertaining. Oh, sorry, Adam. Yeah, I've actually answered this a couple of times because you're a bit late in, but no worries. No, I've ignored the alpha. Someone has offered me some strut tops, which I will almost certainly take them up. Then hopefully we may not need them, but I need to go and chase everyone. But no, I've avoided ringing it because it's going to be really expensive, which I like a pint of better. Yes, we are near Shepherd Neame. They do some beautiful stuff, especially the Oyster Bay stuff. That's really, really good. How's progress with Furious HQ storage going? Not so great. I did find a good barn. I think I said a few minutes ago. I did find a really promising looking barn with doors hanging off on a country lane, looked a little bit remote and quiet. I was trying to work out who the farmer might be to own it. But my wife did say it looked like it was definitely going to get broken into or burnt down. So no, she's now looking on estate agents on cheaper counties where we can trade in our house here for a house with land and a barn or something. Because Kent is not the most expensive county in the country apart from Surrey and London. So if you move to, I don't know, a bit of Essex or slightly further north to Suffolk or somewhere, we could have a massive house twice the size for what this is worth. But I want to move home, so I don't know. What did I just miss on here? Would I buy a Rover 75? Yes, they're brilliant. Could move to North Wales. It's a long way from anywhere there, as Ian now knows. How lucky was I driving the Alpha with so little metal in it? Astonishingly lucky. I think Hubnut would have filled that unit by the time I've finished this sentence. Review of China's sofa, that would be entertaining. Yeah, Montegos aren't too bad. Tempera 2 litre or Marea 20 valve? I'll go for the Marea, a bit weird. Also, a Shepherd Neame, the oldest brewery in England, or Britain, possibly the world, is here in Kent. A Bedford, yeah, nice Bedford's like a CF or something. Actually, since we've not been able to go like a holiday this year, my wife has been sort of going on about getting a camper van, which I'm very much behind because we can get something like a Bedford CF or something horrific and American, like a 80s Astro van, which would be really, really cool. Which the neighbours would hate. We had to pay for storage for that one though, I think, so I wouldn't be able to live here. It would be great to have a unit. That would be my ultimate dream for the channel, is to get A, make the channel pay enough that I can not do a regular job and just do this all the time, and B, have a unit where all the cars can live, have a lift and a ramp, that kind of stuff. Thank you, Jason. A boom, boom. Actually, yeah, some of the Belgian breweries are pretty old, aren't they? If you're checking it on item in the Diamond Bright website, ooh, if that's what you mean, I'll have a word with them. I moved to Yorkshire, £2 for a pint, and loads of room for storage. It's not much. Oh, Commer van. I thought it said corner van. I was trying to work out what corner van was, but it's Commer van. They're really rare now. You struggle to find one of them. Have I ever driven an Austin Ambassador? Yeah, my best friend when I was growing up had an Austin. Dad had an Austin Ambassador. What was that, Princess? So kind of grew up going to birthday parties in the boot of one of those. Oh, so liked his Rolls Royce. Oh, you mean JR Go's Rolls Royce? Yeah, that was fun. Has he sold that now? Has he still got that? Am I going to review Joe Lloyd's 45 V6? Maybe. Could move to North Wales. Oh, yeah. Blimey. I'm losing my track again. Yeah, camper van project will be good. The question is, do you start with an old camper van and refit it, or start with a regular van and turn it into a camper van? That'd be the cheaper way to do it. Well, cheaper way to start, but then expensive getting all the bits. Yeah, the Brazilian Bay imports weren't massively well rust-proofed. You'd like a Micro K11 as a daily hack? No, you're not mad at all. They're pretty good cars. Hello.
Mum wants you to finish.
Okay. I guess that's my call to finish. Any particular Diamond Brights I'd recommend. So in case you missed this, there is 20% off in the Diamond Bright shop right now because they're sponsoring the channel from now on. Use the code FD20, Furious Driving, that is 20, for 20% off. The Max Foam shampoo is very good. I brought some up here. The Ultra Glass is very good. I've been told by some detailers it's one of the best on the market. They do hand sanitizer as well, which is quite nice. But I really, really, really like the I always get the name wrong. Replenish, Rejuvenate. Sorry, the tyre and black plastic cleaner. That's amazing stuff. I even do my shoes with it. And one cut. If you've got scuffs and things, turn that back on, please. If you've got scuffs and scrapes in the car, one cut is brilliant. But yes. So.
Mikey was sitting on your phone.
Great. So I'm going to say.
And then the phone rang.
I didn't hear the phone ring.
And then he barked.
Okay. Buy no caravan installed on a van. That's a good idea. Right. Episode on history of a lion. Yeah, that's an idea actually. Right. I'm going to have to call it a night here because I'm being busted into. Yeah, do go and check out the Diamond Bright website because if everyone goes and gets 20% off, you'll both get great deals for cleaning your cars and they will then think the sponsorship deal was worthwhile and keep on sponsoring the channel. And so I'm going to say good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. And the child is about to interrupt. That's my third hand. Night, everyone. I'm going to say goodbye now if I can figure out where to push the button. I can't find out where to push the button. It's not happening.
You know your iPad's trash. It's very old. It's new, but it's old.
I'm being told by my son my iPad is old and trash. Good night.